All I want to know is when they gonna revoke this heifer citizenship and deport this heifer. Get this heifer out of Congress. When is they gonna deport this heifer?
I just introduced an amendment in the budget committee to make corporations pay their fair share. Republicans somehow have found $4.6 trillion in tax cuts for the billionaires and millionaires while they are taking food assistance and healthcare away from
billionaires and millionaires. The same exact script. Same thing from you Democrats.
Working and poor Americans. The system is rigged, and we are here to do everything that we can to hold the line.
A few moments later.
Apparently, she and her husband made a lot of money. Probably a lot more than people thought, all right? So they're banging on her for being a net worth of about $30 million. And I think her husband sold 2 companies in the last 2 years, I believe, with I think it was up 3,500% for the return. This is what she said. There's been a coordinated right-wing disinformation campaign claiming all sorts of wild things, including the ridiculous claim that I'm worth millions of dollars, which is categorically false, end quote. All right, she says it's not true. The receipts apparently suggest otherwise.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
500% for the return. This is what she said. There's been a coordinated right-wing disinformation campaign claiming all sorts of wild things, including the ridiculous claim that I'm worth millions of dollars, which is categorically false, end quote. All right, she says it's not true. The receipts apparently suggest otherwise. Michael.
Yeah, it's sort of curious.
They need to deport this foreign agent. They need to deport this heifer. They need to revoke her citizenship and deport her butt. Somalia is home. They need to deport this brother-loving heifer. I'm telling you. This anti-American, anti-Trump, same script heifer. They need to deport her.
It's that her husband has a consulting firm now in Washington, D.C. that can rake in millions of dollars. It's enough to make Hunter Biden blush. I don't know what sort of advice he's able to offer that suddenly made her net worth skyrocket, but I'd be curious to get the details there. And I hope that there are people in the House of Representatives who are willing to investigate this.
The other thing, though, John, is that part of this started is because she was saying it was outrageous for people to have so much money, that millionaires and billionaires shouldn't exist. And so then you dig a little bit deeper and you're like, well, actually, ma'am.
I'll tell you, these socialist communists, they need to deport this heifer. The hell with Democrats.
Or she doesn't understand how it works.
They don't understand how nothing works. They don't understand how the country works. They have no common sense. They're all involved in some of the biggest corruption, the biggest scandals, the biggest fraud. They scream to the top of their lungs and be the guiltiest ones.
They're calling it the Mogadishu miracle, of course, named for the hometown of the congresswoman, that a humble servant of the people is able to go from barely having anything to being a multimillionaire in just 1 year's time. It's the kind of return Warren Buffett could only dream about. And I think that she is going to start selling investment advice to people all over the country, and I bet she'll have customers.
Talking about taxes.
Oh, hell. I know this wench ain't gonna say nothing she gonna say. I don't even want to hear it. Let's hear what this heifer got to say.
Because it has a role with the new Green Deal.
Yes.
Which does
and Medicare for all of those things
Medicare for all.
Going to need.
How do you propose doing that on a very
the new green scam? I think I remember this.
Practical level, because some of these critics are coming from the Democratic Party itself, not only from the Republican Party.
So there are a few things that we can do. One of them is that we could increase the taxes that people are paying.
Y'all need to walk this heifer out. She's saying you and me need to pay more taxes. I say to hell with taxes and taxation. Get rid of it all. Property tax, this, that, all that crap got to go. And they need to revoke this heifer citizenship and deport her butt. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm pissed off. Talking about me and them patriots got to pay more taxes. Me and them patriots don't want to pay no more. We don't want to pay nobody taxes. There should be no tax on nothing. No sales tax, nothing. Got to pay the product when you walk out when you at the checkout. It's on this tag. It say $8.99. By the time you get done ringing it up and checking out, it's $120, $140 because of taxes. You had a goal to spend only $300. And then when you got to the checkout in the Home Depot line, it's $400 after the checkout, after the taxes kick in. Sick of paying taxes on everything. Gotta go to the store. Can't even get me an apple. A fruit. Can't even get me an apple. And got to pay taxes on the apple. I got to pay taxes on something that grows, that I can grow myself. Oh, hell. They say, Rick, you can plant an apple tree in the back of the yard. Rick, you can plant that lemon tree in the back of the yard. I got to go to the store and pay taxes on the lemons. But y'all get my point though, right? The hell with this heifer. These socialist communists.
Who are the extremely wealthy in our community. So
I just introduced an amendment in the budget committee to make corporations pay their fair share. Republicans somehow have found $4.6 trillion in tax cuts for the billionaires and millionaires, while they are taking food assistance and healthcare away from working and poor Americans.
I don't know how many times this has been debunked. I don't even know why this heifer and many others, I don't even know why they open up their mouth and repeat the same script we've heard over and over and over. Lock this heifer up!
The system is rigged, and we are here to do everything that we can.
Conservatives in particular would say that the rise in Islamophobia is a result not of hate, but of fear, a legitimate fear, they say, of quote-unquote jihadist terrorism, whether it's Fort Hood or San Bernardino or the recent truck attack in New York. What do you say to them?
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country because...
Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that, don't you? We must be fearful of white men, white people in the country. Let's let her finish. I deport and revoke this heifer citizenship.
Fearful of white men across our country because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. And so if fear was the driving force of policies to keep America safe, Americans safe inside of this country, we should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men.
Footing, Maryland Governor Wes Moore offering a blunt assessment of what he considers to be his party's problems. Roll this.
One thing I do believe is that the Democrats don't have a messaging problem. There's a results problem. The Democrats have to deliver results.
We hate to break it to you, sir. Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore. You probably done rubbed yourself down, rubbed your head, rubbed that bald head with that Diddy oil. But I got to break it to you, sir. Y'all the Democrat Party is done. Throw it in the garbage. People are done with Democrats. People are done. Y'all messaging everything. The anti-Trump, that's all y'all got. Trump, 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 Trump. Unconstitutional, unpresidential, millionaires, billionaires, the same god doggone script, Y'all walk granddaddy around, plug the machine up into the wall. Y'all had that lady in there laughing and smiling and passed out, pissed drunk. She supposed to be at the border. Y'all had it wide open, said, come on in. And now common sense is back. America's back. Love or hate my president, that's my president. And he doing a damn good job and better than what y'all was doing. And we actually know who's running the country. God doggone right. We know who's running the country now. My president took out them narco terrorists. He playing Call of Duty right now. This is good. My president is playing Call of Duty on y'all butt, and he winning the game. We up thousands of points on Call of Duty with President Trump, and we just gonna keep winning. You Democrats are done talking about this, the messaging. Oh, maybe it's the results. You know, as y'all walk granddaddy around the biggest scandal in American history. The hell with Wes Moore. And then when they meet President Trump, he in President Trump's face, shaking his hand, smiling, and having a good time. Y'all are frauds. The hell with you politicians. And I think it's that stolen valor fella, isn't it? It's stolen valor. All you Democrats do is just lie. We just avoided a stolen valor vice president. Tampon Tim. Want tampons in boys' restroom, no common sense. He in China drinking sweet tea.
And stop being the party of no and slow and start being the party of yes and now. Because the frustration that people have, it is real. It is real when people are saying that, you know what, I feel like my life situation has not changed. And so people are looking at all these things and saying, I'm done with all of you. And so that's why I think we have to move with the kind of aggression that is necessary.
Okay, there from the Ruthless Podcast, Michael Duncan and John Ashbrook are back. And gentlemen, good day to both of you. I don't believe either one of you has won the Bronze Star, but there is still time. Your careers are young. Put it up. Number one, Democratic Party favorability poll when it comes to the economy. CNBC All-American Economic Survey, they're well underwater, 56% negative.
Here. Let me just blow it up for y'all. Let me just blow it up. Let's take a good look at this. Look at this. Let's just take a good look.
I don't think the problem is messaging or results for the Democratic Party. I think it goes down to who are they fighting for exactly. I think they care more about illegal immigrants than they do American workers. I think they
again, like I've been repeating for thousands of videos. We wish y'all cared this much for actual Americans, for the actual we the people. You know. But we know who y'all voters is. We know who y'all care so much for. Who y'all use taxpayer dollars, and then you get on the plane and fly all the way down there and have a margarita with your buddy. Yeah, you know, don't want to reach out to the grieving families. You know, it's a disgrace, man.
Care more about USAID than they care about the United States. And just look at that, previous segment you played about violent crime in Chicago. If some of these big city mayors would just get behind Donald Trump and trying to crack down on violent crime in this country, I think it'd be good for the American people. Man. But the reality is the Democratic Party is not fighting for them right now.
John, I don't know how often you get up to Baltimore, but to me, it always needed a little more help than it was getting.
Yeah, it sure needs a lot of help right now. And I'll tell you, Dana, that I have heard what he is saying from multiple Democrat consultants over this year. They say that until we come to grips with the fact that we cannot actually manage these blue cities, that these cities have higher crime rates, have higher costs of living, and we're not doing a good job, they say that they will never win again. And I'm guessing that Moore is responding to some of this advice that these guys have been given over the year.